benefit from Bitcoin if spending it means you don't have it anymore? Well, great question. The key here is time preference. The goal is to spend your Bitcoin at a time later than when you bought it. Obviously, if you spend it 5 minutes after you bought it, you don't benefit from it because then you had it and then you don't. But as with any savings technology, and Bitcoin is a savings technology, it's a kind of investment that is also a savings technology. The goal is to buy it and sit on it for as long as conceivably possible. As you will always hear me say very frequently on my videos, buy as much Bitcoin as you can and sit on it for as long as conceivably possible. The and sit on it for as long as conceivably possible is the key part, because when you're sitting on it over enough time, it appreciates in value. And with enough appreciation in value, ultimately you can spend the appreciation rather than spend your sort of the core amount that you own. Of course, that means your total amount of Bitcoin goes down, but it means your purchasing power goes up over time. So, for example, if you buy $100 and you spend it the next day, it might have gone up and down a little bit, but your purchasing power probably didn't change that much. If you buy $100 of Bitcoin, you wait a year or two or three or four or five, and it goes up to $150 or $200 or even $110, and then you spend it. You can spend $10 or $50 or $100 or $200 and still have $100 left of Bitcoin. And that's what I've done. I put 18 months of living expenses in Bitcoin back near the market bottom of 2022 because I was just looking for any conceivable excuse to buy more Bitcoin while it was that much on sale. And I've been living for free ever since because the 18 months of living expenses, the US dollar value of that is growing faster than my living expenses. So what started as 18 months of living expenses now is 3.5 years of living expenses, even though I've lived for free for 2.5 years. So I've lived for free for 2.5 years, 2 extra years of living expenses on top of the original 18 months, because again, I'm not spending I'm not spending it when it's valued at the same amount of when I bought it. I'm spending it after it appreciates. And the more it appreciates, the more opportunity you have to spend it and still have a significant amount left over. So that's the goal of everybody who buys Bitcoin, is to buy as much Bitcoin as they can, hold on to it for as long as conceivably possible, which then allows the purchasing power to appreciate as much as conceivably possible, so that when you do get around to spending it, you have as much wealth as possible, so that when you're done spending it, you have as much wealth left over still as possible. So hopefully all that makes sense. Enjoy the beautiful day. Thanks, everyone.